The Gutter to Growth. On tonight, I am the co-host, one of the co-hosts, Yashika, and I have a special treat tonight with our guest. How's it going, Rob?
That's fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Look, Rob, I just had an opportunity to just kind of look at your story and your testimony, and it just stuck with me because I had a family member who was dear to me that kind of experienced the same thing. And just
Wow.
to see how you didn't let the setback keep you stuck, but you chose to say, you know what, there is something more, there is something greater. And we are gonna let you talk about how the Lord just worked through what looked like a tragedy, look like life was
Yes.
over, and just how he has just allowed you to be an overcomer. But I'm going to let you just say hey to the audience before we
Hello,
dig
hello. I
in.
am so excited to be here. This will be a lot of fun. I was just chatting
Yeah,
with my brother yesterday, and he was like, "Man, you are literally living on your like seventh or eighth life." So, you know,
but that's
I'm
what
like the
we're
cat that you
doing.
just can't kill. But the Lord has me here definitely for a reason. I'm excited
Yes,
to talk about it.
definitely. So let's just talk about how it all began. An elite athlete runner, and then it starts with you being struck by a truck while running.
Yes.
Um, and this thing, your focus was on furthering your career, into the professional realm. And this accident changed the whole direction of your life. Let's talk about how your entire life was changed from that moment.
Yeah, sounds great. I mean, initially, it was devastating, but because I was, like you mentioned, I was on a mission. It was like I had for
Mhm,
10 years, that was like the path. It was like I was doing
mhm.
really, really well. My running was great. I went to an amazing, got a full ride running scholarship to an amazing
Wow.
running school and made the US junior team. I was like the second best miler in the country. And it was just that things were going fantastic. And I was on my way to what I thought was the goal was,
Wow.
to be a professional runner. And then boom, to have that immediately end out on a backcountry road in Utah,
Wow.
where it literally threw me 36 feet. The truck did. I landed straight on my face.
Wow, Rob.
It was,
Wow.
I'm really, really blessed to be alive. And
Yes.
ever since that accident, I knew God had a plan for my life.
Wow.
It's really fun now to see back and look at all of the
Look
occasions of
back.
my life
Yes.
and how He's trained me to be the person that I am today. And if you would have asked me anywhere throughout my career that if I would be doing what I'm doing now, and there's no
Right.
honestly, there's no plan, there's no way I would be doing what I'm doing today, right?
Wow.
It's just so He literally orchestrated every single move and trained me the way He wants me to be trained to do what I'm doing today. So it's absolutely
Love it.
phenomenal to step into that comfort zone where you really feel that you are doing what He has asked you to do.
Right.
And
Yes.
man, it's comforting and it's exciting.
It's the
And I'm
best
just
place to be.
stoked. Yeah, I'm so stoked to help others kind of get to where I feel I am and where I'm headed, because I want to have a
Yes.
huge impact on the kingdom, and I want to bring a lot of people along with me.
Amen. And let's talk about that because so many people experience trauma and they never fully recover.
Right.
But you are a true testimony that we can truly fully recover. So let's talk about what shifted your mindset. Like it had to be a shifting of there is a greater purpose. So what shifted your mindset out of the not staying stuck in the trauma?
Yeah, what's interesting is I ended up getting stuck, and after that first major
Wow.
accident, because I was devastated. Right,
Hmm.
everything in my life I had worked for was just gone, And so I did recover from a physical perspective,
Mhm.
but mentally I was really in a tough spot. And I literally went and did what the world tells you to do. Right, the
Right.
world tells you to get a college degree, go work for a large corporation, have a family with 3 kids, and have a white house with a white picket fence, and
Right. Yeah.
they tell you to do all of these things, right? And so I did that. I went, and that's what I figured I was supposed to do at that point. And I can see now that he trained me to learn how to talk to people and how to communicate and
Right.
how to sell technology and how to sell things, and at least to conversate and transact with people in a very honest and ethical way.
Yes.
So I did that throughout my career, and then boom, another tragic thing in my life happened, but it happened to everybody's life. It was the
Yes.
pandemic,
Yeah.
right? The pandemic changed everybody's life, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And in my life, it transitioned from me being this corporate executive, going up the ladder with a large corporation, to boom, all of a sudden not having a job.
Right.
And it was like,
Yeah.
okay, here I am again, right? This
Wow.
devastating thing happened to me, but this time I'm so blessed because he taught me the skill of research. And
Wow.
so I really sat back and I started looking at what was going on in the world, and it ended up devastating me again because of
Right.
how tragic, and I felt I had been lied to my entire life
Yes.
up to that point. The more research I uncovered, the more things that really frustrated me with how I had been living in, like, my head in the sand, right? I felt like
Yes.
I didn't realize what was going on in the world. I was so busy doing my thing to
Right.
raise my family, raise my kids, and have my job, and to love my sports teams and play video games
Yeah.
and drink
Yeah.
beer, and just all the things that were the world was telling me to do. I did for a really really long time, way too
Yes.
long, right? But
Yes.
then boom, this happened, and I started researching on what's going on in the world, and that's when I uncovered a lot what's going on with the healthcare industry and the
Yes.
healthcare world, and that devastated me because I was like,
Yes.
how is this possible? Right? We live in the
Yes.
United States of America. It's so free, and our journalism is supposed to be the best. Our media is supposed to be the best.
Mm.
All these things, and then I found out that that's really an utter lie. In a lot
Right.
of cases, it's just our media is controlled, our information is controlled, and
So
then
let's tap
it's
into
just
that because
crazy. Yeah,
you're taking us there. First of all, thank you. I appreciate you for being honest with the audience that you had your moment of being
oh yeah,
stuck, because a lot of times people need to hear the
yeah.
raw truth that no, he didn't just have the accident and just
No,
got over it. He
yeah. I
had his
wasn't just this
moments.
perfect person who made it.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
uh,
had his moments of being stuck, and then when he felt like he was becoming unstuck and was living the life, boom, something else transpired. But in that,
yeah,
this is the part I'm anxious to, like, I'm ready to hear it because you are right. There are things that are not told because we know that we're in the world of sin.
yeah.
We're in this world. We don't operate like this world, but the world has its own system of how it operates
That's right.
because in the now they're benefiting. So
That's right. That's right.
let's talk about this
Yeah.
because you are now a bold voice for natural health and healing. So, why do you believe all natural health remedies and frequency medicines are being censored
Yeah, it's
today?
such a great question because it's literally it ends up coming down to money, and that's such a
Yes.
sad thing to say, but it
Yeah.
literally is. Like you said, that we do live in this fallen world, and
Mhm.
the evil people are living for themselves and living for the
Yeah.
dollar, not for helping people and getting
Mhm.
people well. And that's what I found so darn frustrating. It's like, I was doing research on the early 1900s of our medical schools, and the Rockefellers created this report called the Flexner Report, and
Mhm.
that report they used to take over the medical schools, and they created these
Wow.
medical schools that only taught pharmaceutical based medications. They would,
Mm.
and all natural health practitioners, they couldn't get a job unless they went to one of those specific medical schools, and they just vilified all natural health people. So
Wow.
it was literally done on purpose and for profit way back in the
Mm.
early 1900s. And then that was just the beginnings of what
Wow.
now we know as big pharma.
Right, because
And
it's evolved
just
so
yeah,
much.
it's just huge, right?
Mhm.
And we have the most money we spend on on healthcare in any
Mhm.
country in the world, and we have almost the worst healthcare
That's
system.
what I was
So
gonna
it
say,
doesn't
yet
make
it's still
any
not
logical sense, right?
right.
So it's just crazy. But we've gotten away from all natural health and all natural ways. And so I really am a true believer in modern medicine combined with holistic and natural medicine. God gave
Mhm.
us these incredible gifts of
Right,
things on this earth that we just need to rediscover and understand that
right.
they're there for us, and that He made this temple of ours so incredibly cool
Mm.
that it
Yes,
heals itself. You know,
yes.
if we give it the right nutrients and that we
Mhm.
help set your body up correctly, you give it the right nutrients. He did the amazing design, and
Yes, yes,
we're not doing any healing. We're just giving your body what it needs, and then your
yes.
body heals itself. It's just magical, you know.
Right,
So, and that there is a case for modern medicine. No, don't get me wrong. And I love all the
right,
people in the healthcare field, the doctors and nurses and practitioners. They don't know any better, really. They
right.
don't. They've never done the research that I've done and look back and how our system was changed over. They're trying to help people. I
Yeah.
get that,
Well,
but
the goal is to give your
yeah.
body what it needs so that you can
Yeah.
minimize the need for other things.
Yeah,
So,
like you look at these
yeah.
pharmaceutical drugs and you watch the commercials on TV, right? In the last
Mhm.
30 seconds, tell you everything wrong that it's ever
I
going to do to you.
know.
You know, it scares you to death if you actually
Yeah.
listen to those, right? But the worst
More
thing
side
about
effects than
yeah,
whatever the health is.
they're huge. They're like so long. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I'm going to die if I take that thing.
right.
But the bad thing about that is I was doing research on our average senior today, and they're on 15 different prescription medications in a year.
Wow.
So they take
Wow.
15 of those, right? And if you take one, it has side effects.
Yes.
All drugs have a
You
side
gotta
effect.
take medicine for
And
that.
then you go, that causes something else somewhere else, and you go
Yes.
see a specialist for that. They give you another one for that, and
Mhm.
then they counteract, and you get this roller coaster of medicines that are not healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's a pill for an ill society
Yeah.
rather than and a white coat problem.
Yes.
Even myself, I was like, my wife will tell you that I'm the first person is give me the pill, right?
Yeah.
I want the
Yeah.
magic pill. It's going to fix me right now. You know, just how my mentality was. I'm going to go
Yeah.
to the white coat doctor. He's going to give me the pill, and I'm going to walk out of there, and I'm going to be better.
Yeah.
And that, that's just not how God designed our bodies, right? He
Yes.
designed our bodies to be complex, and when we look back at it and we look at the body holistically, it's really fun to say, how can we help people get better, right? And
Right.
I'm not a doctor, but I know a lot of amazing doctors, and I'm
Right. Right.
having so much fun helping people understand where to go and how to get well and get healthy. And I'm trying to create solutions that make it easy for the average Joe
Right.
to just to be well.
I
So
love
it's
that.
super fun.
Yeah, I love that. Let's talk about this because you talk a lot about the frequency medicine and the
Yeah.
energy based healing. So I'm new to that concept. I think I know a little bit of lines of the frequency, but I may not know what I think I know.
Right.
But what is it and how does it align with how God designed the human body to heal?
That's another really good question, just because I didn't understand frequency, at all. Frequency
Mhm.
medicine, or for even frequencies, period. You know, when I was introduced to this solution, the people came to me and said, "Hey, we've got this sticker. And you put this sticker
Mhm.
on you, and it's going to help you with your some health condition, like let's say just pain, for example." And
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, right. I'm going to put this sticker on me, has no
Mhm.
medication on it, and it's going to help me." Like, come on, I
Wow.
wasn't born yesterday, right? Like,
Right.
I thought it was woo woo. I thought it was stupid, and I didn't believe it. But the good gentleman said, no, this really has a frequency on it, and then he started explaining it to me, and I'm just like, hold it. But remember that skill set that I told you that I
Yeah.
learned after the pandemic?
Right.
It was
Yes.
that skill of research, right? So I said, okay, let me go prove this guy wrong. He's crazy, right? This cannot happen. So I just went and did research. I'm like, and I researched the human body, and the human body is made up of energy. I'm like, oh,
Wow.
wow, okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting. And then I found
Mhm.
out even down to the cellular level of our body, it interacts with each cell interacts via a vibration, and those vibrations give off, guess what? A frequency. And so
Wow.
then I started understanding frequencies. I'm like, okay, so God made this incredible body. It is energy. It vibrates. Our cells vibrate and communicate with frequencies. So it receives frequencies and it gives off frequencies. I'm like, well, okay, this is getting really interesting. I said, what are
Right.
frequencies? Right. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, frequencies are everywhere, right? You got your cell phone, you have your radio, color and light. They're all frequencies. And so then I'm like, okay, that made frequencies not weird anymore. And our human body is not weird; it's energy. I'm like, okay, this is
Mhm.
starting to make sense to me. Then I started learning about quantum energy, how there's these outside forces that can communicate with the body, and even intentions. You can have an effect, a physical effect on a human
Right.
body. Prayer, right, which is one I love. I
Wow.
love literally
Yes.
prayer can have a physical impact on the human
Wow.
body, and you start realizing that you're like, what the heck? I love
Mhm.
Dr. Emoto. Have you ever heard of Dr. Emoto?
No, I don't think I have.
He created he's since passed, but he created this experiments. The book is called The Hidden Messages in Water, and
Wow.
it's so amazing because he did all these researches on these water crystals, and he would
Mhm.
freeze the water, and depending upon the what experiment he was doing, and it would change based upon the frequency of
Mhm.
the intention of the information coming to it. So, for example, let's just say music. There's a different 440 432 music, and one of them's really bad and disruptive, which is all of
Mhm.
our music is recorded in now. And then there's this beautiful music, and you do the crystals based upon the different two different frequencies,
Wow.
and the actual crystal changes. It changes into this beautiful crystal water when it's using the healthy frequency. When it's listening or hearing the bad frequency, it's just a garbled mess. And
Wow. How do
you,
we learn about the
I know,
frequency of
it's
music?
so
Like,
cool.
that's
It it's really, really neat stuff. You've heard of people talking to plants, right? And that, like, you can
yeah.
talk to your plants and
Yeah.
the helps your plant. And I'm like, "Oh, come on,
Yes.
that's dumb." But then I started learning this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so true." Because you physically can have an impact on something external, which I also didn't believe. But they were doing one of the experiments he did was, people praying over a bottle of water, and people
Mhm.
praying over that bottle of water changed the crystal structure of the water.
Mm.
It's like so beautiful, right? So amazing. So once I
Right.
realized that frequencies weren't weird, the body's not weird, energy's not weird, and that you can have a physical impact on the human body with these frequencies, then it started making sense. It's like, okay, so we put these little crystalline structures on top of this patch. We put it on the body, and it has these frequencies on it that connect to
Mhm.
your body's energy system. And then it helps with certain health issues. So it's
Wow.
just so really cool. And then we did one other special thing is we added 40 Bible verses onto that frequency.
Oh,
So
love the wow.
not only do we have the frequency for your health, we have frequency for your soul. And
That is
so
amazing.
we really believe in the whole mind, body, spirit connection that is,
Yes.
is really important. And so
It's
we
a
include a
thing. It's a
it
thing.
is a
Like,
thing.
it takes
It's real.
yeah.
It is so
Yeah.
much better if we do all three together rather than just one. So we
Yeah.
literally include a prayer guide that goes along with our solutions because we want
Mhm.
people to literally declare it, right? There's power in the tongue. The Bible tells us that.
Yeah.
And if you
I
declare
was
it with your
thinking of
tongue,
that when you were saying that about
yeah,
speaking to the water. I'm like, it just
yes,
lets you know words have power. Like, it's just bringing that
that's right.
out.
That's exactly right. So
Now,
you
before we
go
keep
ahead.
moving on, because I don't
Yeah.
wanna forget, how could people find the little patch thing? Like,
Oh,
where
there's
is
right.
that at?
So I've got my Exodus Strong stuff on today, but QE Strong is the my brand that has that. It's QE for quantum energy. So
Okay.
QEstrong.com is and we're going to combine the organizations more than likely and have our frequency stuff on our Exodus Strong um,
Okay.
brand, but for now they're separate. But it's
Yeah,
that
okay.
was my first entree into health solutions and helping people
Mhm.
was that company, the QE Strong, and that's been really really fun. But one of the things that I found fascinating was researching the ingredients in the Bible. So I was
Yes, take
doing
us
all
there because
there,
that was my
there's
next one
Oh, is
about
it? Okay,
herbs and
good. So there's
superfoods.
so much
Yes.
fun information. There's lots and lots of herbs and superfoods in
Mhm.
the Bible. For if I could find the balm of Gilead, that's like the healing
I
balm, right? It's like
know,
I
like, we
want to
wanna
find that.
know, where is it? Where is
I want to
it?
heal everybody with that.
Yes.
That would be amazing. But I haven't been able to find it yet. But what I did do is I did a lot of prayer and I did a lot of looking at the ingredients in the Bible, and the Lord led me to this practitioner in California. It's just like, Lord, help me. Before I met this practitioner, I was like, help me
Mhm,
come up with a combination of all these ingredients that are, they're already out there. There's frankincense, there's myrrh, and other stuff
mhm.
in products individually by themselves. I'm like, help me find a combination that just has never been done before that can really help people. And I met this practitioner in California who had this molecular hydrogen blend that your body creates molecular hydrogen, and hydrogen all of a sudden has become this great big huge popular movement. These hydrogen water bottles and hydrogen water
I was
that you
gonna
can get.
ask you about
Yeah,
that. Yeah, like,
it's super
yeah.
popular, right? So I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, so hydrogen, I kind of understand it. So he explained it to me more, and it's so cool because he's got with our capsules. You put it into your body, and your body creates the molecular hydrogen. So what does that mean? But what that does mean is it goes into your bloodstream more efficiently
Mhm.
when your body creates it. And then the molecular hydrogen has a lot of health benefits because it goes into your bloodstream and it starts clearing it out. So it gets rid of the
Wow.
bad blood, the free radicals that are in your bloodstream, and
Yes.
extracts it, as well as the it helps
Wow.
the mitochondrial process, which is really the mitochondrial process is like the energy of your cell. So that's what
Mhm.
creates energy within the cell, and hydrogen helps the mitochondrial process work better. So it gives you really good a lot of people feel good energy from that. So it helps the body work
And more
better from
hydrated.
from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so what we did is really fun is I took the seven best complementary ingredients in the Bible and added them to this solution called we call Exodus, and
Mhm.
it's got seven biblical herbs and superfoods and the molecular hydrogen blend in this capsule that is just amazing. You can get rid of five or six of your supplements and take this one supplement
Wow.
that really helps you in a really dramatic way. So it's so super fun
Yeah.
to help people realize that. And then the molecular hydrogen, people are like, okay, now I get
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
good, right? And then we have the barley grass and wheat grass, which are the nutrients that most people are missing. Our food supply is so messed up these
Right.
days that those really help with the nutrients that your body does need. And then we have saffron. Saffron's like the most expensive
Wow.
element in the world, and it's more expensive than gold. And
Wow. That's
isn't that bizarre? Yeah, it's like literally per weight, it's more expensive than gold is, but it really helps with mood and anxiety and stress. So that's been something that's helped a lot of people who's not anxious right nowadays.
right.
So
In this
that's a really good
world, it's so
one.
much. Yeah.
And then aloe is very good for gut health, and gut health is where your body really starts, right? When you give your body the nutrients, if you don't have a healthy gut, your body won't absorb the nutrients well.
Yeah.
So you have to have a good gut so your body absorbs the nutrients to help you do what you need to do. And then we have cumin, frankincense, and myrrh, and the combination of those really help with inflammation response. So
Mhm.
it's been able to show to help people that have issues and aches and other things like that.
Right.
When your
Right.
inflammation is reduced, it helps with those types of issues. In fact, I have a podcast called I Am Pain Free, and that
Wow.
podcast I interview a lot of holistic health practitioners,
Mhm.
and they mention that the your health starts in your gut, because if you don't get that well, then your body's not functioning the way it's supposed to.
Wow.
So you got to
Can't
start
get rid
there.
of
And
all the
then,
waste and
yeah,
things.
inflammation is the source of all disease. I'm like,
Wow.
that is literally what they've told me. And so it's like, it's not just bad for certain things. It's the inflammation is the source of all disease.
So
And
let's
I'm like,
talk about that.
wow, that's crazy.
How have you what are some things you've learned that can help with inflammation, fog, chronic illnesses? Like what are some things through your research
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
learned can support people with those issues?
It's been fun all over the board, right? I've got lots of them, but I like to tell people these five things that are absolutely free, right? So I'm not asking you to buy anything from me. I want you to have the information. If you like the products we have, great. But I just want to
Mhm.
help you be well and
Right.
healthy. That's why I love to talk about these five free things, because it's like, hey, everybody can do them, and you should. And when you do these five things, they're simple and they're easy and they're free. So do
Right.
them, right?
Right.
And if you do them, you're gonna come back and say, okay, that guy's not as strange as I thought he was. And I'm doing my research, because you're gonna learn to do your own
Right.
research now, right? You're gonna go
I'm
research
doing
these five
research.
things.
I'm
That's right.
ready.
That's right. So you're gonna research these five things, and you're gonna be amazed. So the first one is super simple. It's hydration, water. Right, we need to hydrate. Most people are dehydrated these days. We go work from our job 9 to 5 or whatever, and during the day we just don't drink enough, and we're busy and we're doing things, we don't drink enough healthy water. So try to get it filtered water if you can, because our
Okay.
water supply is a mess.
Mhm.
And then drink healthy
And water
water. And
bottles. I've heard water bottles are not good
yeah,
either.
even plastics, the microplastics are bad. So try not to get, bottled water is not that great. It's better than none. In fact, one doctor I was talking to laughed. He says, you know what? Some people, it's just better if you get any water. Even
Right.
if it is tap water, to get it. And I'm like,
Right.
no, 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 no. But he's like, just get water. So that is important, just to get water. And I'm about 200 pounds, so I need to have about 100 ounces of water a day
Half
for
your
me.
body weight, right?
Yeah, half of it.
Mhm.
Yep. So do that. That's simple. Just start tracking it, and you'll
Yeah.
be amazed. So that's a simple one. The second one, which is where I kind of started my whole health journey, was on vitamin D. So the sun is so important.
Mhm.
Without the sun, we don't have the plants, and we don't have the plants, we don't have oxygen.
Right.
So it's literally the source of life is the sun. And
Wow.
and it's really important. Vitamin D is really good for your body. In fact, if you go out the first 45 minutes of the day, it's called blue light, and you can get this
Mm.
direct sunlight on your body, on your skin, and it has no UV rays, and it's just very, very, very healthy. So get that
Wow.
out there. That
Okay.
first 45 minutes of the day, get some sun. Now the
Mhm.
cool thing too is you can combine these next two with that. So you can go out and get some sun, but then guess what? I want you to take your socks and shoes off and put
And
your
get the
feet on God's
earthing.
given earth, right?
Yes.
So you do grounding. My
Yeah.
wife used to tell me
Or
about
grounding.
grounding.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought she was nuts. I'm like, come on. I don't want to take, I don't, my feet are
Yeah.
sensitive. I don't want to put my feet on the ground. Then I learned about grounding. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So is that
Of
more
course.
of like the grass and dirt, not so
Yes, if you get your
okay.
feet on the grass and the dirt or the sand, if you're at the
Mhm.
beach, right, just it discharges the negative energy and refills your body with positive energy. It's just the most
Wow.
fascinating thing. Your body is that energy. Remember I told you about that earlier, right? Your
Yes.
body is energy, so it can store up this negative energy, and you need to discharge it and get rid of it. You need to recharge your body. So that grounding, I can sell you a $5,000 mat that you can put in your office, and you can
Wow.
sit on it when you're working, or you can do it for
Just go
free.
outside. Yeah.
Just go outside, take your socks
Yeah.
and shoes off, and boom, you're grounding. So, but you
Wow.
cool. The cool thing is you can do that in the morning, right, with your sun. So you get some
Mhm.
sun, you get your grounding in, and then you can combine the third one with it, which is breathing. So I know breathing,
Wow.
right? It's like duh, of course we have to breathe, right? But if there's literally breathing techniques that you can use that will extend your life by 7 years. So it's like
What?
you go do research
Wow.
on Wim Hof breathing technique, WIM
I wanna
space
breathe
H
now.
H. I know.
Like
It's like it is so simple, but and if you do it, take 7 or 8 minutes every day, and you can literally extend your life expectancy, because you're getting your
Wow.
body the oxygen that it is lacking. We don't do it enough in this breathing techniques just it fills your body with this amazing amount of oxygen. Then a lot of people get dizzy when they do it if they don't are not
Wow.
careful. So you have to learn the
Yeah.
technique and
Yes.
do it, but it's simple to do and obviously it's breathing for heck's sakes, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
you can anybody can do it, and you can combine those three things, right? The grounding, the sun, and the breathing techniques all at once. So you don't have to do this 2 hour regime. It's just, hey,
Right.
drink some water, then go do those three things. There's four out of your five things that you've done that are super simple. And then I like to combine the fifth one when I'm getting ready for with a shower. I like
Right.
to the last three minutes of the shower. Sometimes people only do a minute, but you just turn that thing to cold, and it sucks.
Yes, I've heard about
you
we've
know,
done that for our children, like, where they
yeah.
sit in those cold baths to shock,
Yeah, the shock
um
factor just your
yeah.
body just reacts to it, and your blood gets
Wow.
flowing. Your blood flows to the areas where it's cold, and and it just is very very good. It helps burn brown fat, and so it literally is a
Wow.
good weight
So
loss
do you
thing
do
for
that
people.
first, like, as soon as you
No,
get
don't
in
you
the
always end it. You always
end
end it.
it with the
Yep,
cold shock?
yep, and then
Okay.
you warm up naturally. So don't splash a bunch of hot water on you again. You do the cold. You can do a cold plunge like in a bathtub or something, but it's just easy in the shower because you can do it for the
Yeah,
last
just
couple minutes
end
of your
it, yeah.
shower, and then you let your body warm up naturally. And that warm up process is where your really body comes together and warms your body back up. But that natural process of doing it is really fantastic for your body. So and it gives you
Wow.
energy. You're like, wow, why didn't I do this more
I know
often?
I'm
You
gonna
you
try
combine
that.
those five things. It's like, how much did that cost you to do those five things? You know,
0.
yeah, just zero. And then you're gonna say, man, okay, I did those five things. I'm starting to feel better. I like my life better. And geez,
Wow.
maybe I should look at these other things that these guys are doing. And
I
I'm
know.
having a blast.
Look, you have given us so many things to research, which
Yes.
I made
Don't believe
notes for
me. Don't
myself.
believe me. Yep, yep.
Yes.
Research them yourself. You're gonna be
Yes.
amazed.
So we know we can find you on the QEstrong.com. Throw out some other plugs if you have any more where the
Yeah,
audience
so
can find
Exodus
you.
Strong is my new brand, and that's what I'm wearing the Exodus
Mhm.
Strong shirt and the hat. It's amazing brand because we really have a heart for the Lord. We want to our goal is to get 1 million new people to read the Word through their help.
Amen.
So
Yes.
these prayer guides that we have in here that has an intention, a prayer, and a Bible verse. And so when you're declaring that, you're using your mouth to declare it, your eyes to read it, your ears to hear yourself say it. Then you take our capsules that go inside your body using 4 out of your 5 God-given senses to help you with your health. And I believe
Amen.
that mind, body, spirit is really, really connected. So,
Yes.
and it's just a really great product that can help you
Yes.
in my opinion, a great way. So it's just fun to help people. And then, hey, if you like it, you share it with somebody else. We even have a champions program where you can benefit from that just by sharing it
Awesome.
with people. So we're trying to make it easy and helpful, and make sure people. We're trying to bring the prices down to make it reasonable, and
Yes.
so that you can share it and enjoy it, and it's not going to kill you. But man, it's so much better than the coffee that you're drinking every
Right.
day, or the
Yeah.
the, the bubble tea that you get, or
Yes.
whatever it is that your favor is for trying to have energy. And I'm a perfect example of someone who needed this product. I
Mhm.
would about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I have had a condition called bradycardia, which is a slow
Mhm.
beating heart. And that
Yeah.
slow beating heart about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my beats per minute were about in the low 30s. So it's really, really low.
Wow.
So I just wasn't getting enough oxygen. So
Mhm.
about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd crash, boom. I had to go take a nap. And I was like, come on, I'm not old, but I'm not young. And,
Right.
I'm not young. I guess, either way, I'm not any of those.
Right. You're in the middle. You're in between.
But I shouldn't be taking naps every day. I knew that.
Right.
But I started using Exodus and that natural energy that it gives you with the
Love
nutrients I
that.
need, as well as that molecular hydrogen blend. I don't need to take those naps anymore. It's so cool because it's just like, wow, I have something that's natural that doesn't give me these ups and downs. I used to love
Right.
caffeine, right? I'd have a 4 shot latte and
Oh,
I'd be
wow.
buzzing for a while, but then
Yes.
guess what happens after you buzz for a while?
You can
It's just whoop,
crash.
you
Mhm.
come and crash, and
Mhm.
the energy drinks people are drinking are just really, really bad for your health.
Yes.
This is 100% natural. It's God given, right? He put these nutrients on the earth for us. Even the molecular hydrogen is cool because hydrogen is the base element that God created.
Wow.
It's the smallest
Wow.
element that He created, right? So we're just using it in a modern way with this molecular hydrogen to help the body. So it's just fascinating how you can use these natural things and they can help you improve the way that you feel. And my goal to get people off of the couch, right?
Right. Yeah.
You can't have an impact on this kingdom if
If
you're
you're sick
exhausted and
and
you're tired
idle and
and you don't
yeah.
feel like talking to your neighbor or
Yeah.
talking to your friend or
Yeah.
going to see your buddies. You know, get out and live life and enjoy
Amen.
life and then have an impact on the kingdom. You
Yeah.
smile with your neighbor and say hi to
Yes.
them and go see your friends that you haven't seen for a while and have that conversation you haven't had in a while. And if you have energy and you're just excited about life, you're going to do that. So that's my goal is let's get people off of the sick bed. Let's get them
Right.
healthy. Let's get them off of the couch. Let's have them have a great impact on the world. And then I believe that the Lord, at the end of the day, when I am judged and I meet Him, He'll say,
Yeah.
this is my ultimate goal in life for Him to say,
Well
"Well done,
done.
good and faithful
Amen.
servant." Right? Because if He
Amen.
doesn't say that, I'm
Hallelujah.
going to be devastated. So that's what
Yes.
I'm working for.
Yes, we love it. I love it. Look, Rob, it has been absolutely amazing. It's everything that I just knew it would be with having you on the show. So appreciative of you just sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your insight because you've lived through what
Yeah.
you're talking about. So you have the experience. Audience, check him out.
Yes.
Replay this so you can make sure you know where to go at so you can check out Exodus Strong and QE Strong. And until next time, from gutter to growth with your co-host Yashika, you be blessed. Bye
Amen.
bye.
Amen.
All right, Rob. What a this was amazing.